All right, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. We can get a roll call, please.
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood. Absent. Charles Kostick.
Here.
Dana Isabella.
Here.
Daniel Bosley.
Here. James
Coffey. Absent. And I'm Katie Colucci. I'm present.
Is there anyone seeking public comment this evening? Seeing none. What was I going to say? I'll hold off. Go into the resolutions. So tonight, there are a number of resolutions that were originally slated, and we did so for consideration. Originally, there are some more details that we are awaiting on, so I'm actually going to recommend that we don't act on these this evening. But I do want to do a little bit of a deeper dive on a couple of things. Authorization to advertise the bids for the Battlefield Memorial Gateway Phase 2 is just like everything else with a bid document process. We will put out the bids to see what we get back through that process. The second kind of batch of them is to enter into a contract for exterior site construction for the north entrance vestibule. It's being done in two components, and there will actually, it will almost look as though we did a whole bunch of mobilization and then it's going to go kind of like radio silent for a period of time because there's some pieces that need to be constructed before the second mobilization, but it is in two phases. One of the things that we need to do is to make sure that the highway department can actually do the component internally, and we have not been able to have all the meetings to close that out. So before we commit to accepting the bids, I don't want to act on it and then not be able to meet the standard, and then it will put everything in a little bit of make things a little catty-wonky. There is one resolution, though, that I would like to bring forward, and that is to reject the first round of responses and publish a request for proposal intended for professional IT services. We will just have to renumber it, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find it here. We will renumber it 109, and it's to request, reject first round of responses and publish a request for proposals, RFP, and intent for professional IT services.
So you're not going to put forward 109 tonight? You said?
I'm renumbering 109 so that we can act on the rejecting of the first round. So
okay.
Yeah, because the other ones are still draft. So we'll just renumber them appropriately. Yeah, because because I'm not even going to lay those other ones on the table tonight. Okay.
All right. Because I was going to get to that to the press if needed, but that's okay.
Yeah. So can we consider now Resolution 109, formerly 112?
Whereas, in February of 2025, the town of Plattsburgh issued and published a request for proposals for IT services, and whereas the town has deemed all proposals received to be incomplete or lacking insufficient information in order to determine the best value and service for the town, and whereas the town of Plattsburgh is now seeking new and or revised proposals from qualified computer and information technology firms to provide professional services for the town of Plattsburgh, and whereas firms offering proposals should be familiar with the infrastructure, hardware, software, programs, and services utilized by the town of Plattsburgh, and whereas the town of Plattsburgh will rank the responses received on an evaluation of certification that your firms provides services to municipal clients, technical skills, experience, and reference information. The town of Plattsburgh reserves the right to reject any or all proposals and to conduct interviews at its sole discretion. Responses must be sealed and marked proposal for computer and information technology services for town offices and received at the town of Plattsburgh by 2 p.m. on April 28th of 2025. Additional information regarding this request for proposals may be obtained by calling the town clerk at 518-562-6830 during business hours, Monday through Friday, or going to the town of Plattsburgh website. Now therefore it is resolved that the town rejects all proposals previously received from the February 2025 request for proposals for IT services, and resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh does hereby authorize the supervisor solicit and receive a new round of informal bid proposals for computer information technology services for town offices, to administer and deliver the scope of services that the town clerk post notice on the town clerk's bulletin board and post on the town's website. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the town finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
I'll second. I just want to provide some additional context. We did receive, I think there was 3 bids initially. We learned some different things because of the complexities of technology, so we're trying to make sure that things are, apples to apples as best as possible. And also want to thank Jennifer from taking a different look at it, along with Trevor, Scott, Pat, and I are on this group. So we feel that this is the best way moving forward. So any questions, comments, concerns? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Yes, this resolution carries. Like I said, this will be renumbered, and then we'll just renumber the other resolutions. Given the fact that tonight is a work session, I do want to bring to your attention the other items that will be up for consideration. Minutes, agreement with Precision Group for cleaning and services of the oil water separator, a March 2025 budget adjustment, and then a resolution to hold a public hearing for the local law number 3 of 2025, local law regulating the outdoor restraint of dogs. And I want to thank Jim and Matt Favreau for taking the lead through this, because what they did is they've been looking at the model law that was presented to us for the county, what the town of Champlain and some of the other municipalities have been looking at. And I believe the town of Champlain just adopted their law last night, and I think it's pretty much to the T of what is presented in the draft here for consideration. And again, this is only setting the public hearing. So is there anybody seeking any committee reports?
I would just say we had an opportunity last week with Parks and Rec, Tom and myself, to take a ride around to just about all of the parks. I think the only one we didn't hit was Cumberland Head. Tom, myself, along with Mike Drew from B&G and Aaron and Jordan. So it really gave us a good opportunity to go over the list of what needs to be done with the parks. I mean, they have a lot of work to do, a lot of plans, especially with 3 new playgrounds coming in. But I think it gave us a real good opportunity to get an on-hands appearance or look to see what needs to be done with those projects. And then water, wastewater, everything's just starting to kick up now that they're coming out of the winter season. They're starting to run May Courier again, and hope to get some hydrants flushed over there and get May Courier online sooner than later.
Anybody else?
Well, I would just say, I guess from a personal standpoint, I was brought up to speed by assessing and planning, so a little bit better understanding for me as the newest member of the board to each of those categories of products that we take care of. So it was really kind of neat.
Anybody else? I do want to circle back to my report. Apologies, I just wanted to make sure that administratively I made sure to get that resolution numbered. Last week, the town of Plattsburgh celebrated its 240th anniversary. We did have a Charter Day ceremony. Largely, it was focused and has been the last couple of years on recognizing longevity of our employees. But to me, I believe the highlight of the event was all of our current living supervisors, Art LaFave, Bernie Bassett, and Andy Abella. Unfortunately, Andy was not able to attend, but each one of those individuals received a meritorious service award on behalf of their leadership and service at the town of Plattsburgh. And interestingly enough, Art LaFave is at the young age of 97. And I had done some quick back of the napkin math, and the amount of history that he had seen in the town, and having served for 28 distinct years, it just is quite remarkable. So, we thank all those behind us, and we continue to look forward, and also denoted that, ensured that the concept of Charter Day was, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and investing in our future, and just reminded people that we're continuing to work on the potential of a new town hall. Not that shovels are going in the ground today, but again, that planning process of plan the work the plan. So we continue to move forward on some things. And then the last thing that I just wanted to address is I continue to be in lots of conversations with our counterparts in Canada as the ongoing political landscape continues to shift and move, and in a very fluid nature with the tariffs. But in addition to that, I have been calling or visiting approximately 10 businesses each day to kind of see what is going on in their world. And we continue to hear a significant amount of anxiety about what is going on, largely because of how unpredictable things are. And the other thing that we are hearing is that there definitely is a certain melt that is occurring from our Canadian visitors. They may be coming down to the box stores, for example, but maybe they're not going out to lunch afterwards, or maybe they're not staying at the hotels. And the last thing that I would say was just about a year ago that we hosted, to some degree, right? It was a natural occurrence, the total solar eclipse. But I would share two stories with you. Is one, at Katyville, there were a number of people that came up to me and said, hey, we're looking forward to coming back to Plattsburgh. And last year, my wife and I were at Bankers, and some of those individuals, we actually kind of looked at each other and were like, and it was individuals that had come into town,
Oh,
and,
nice.
and they came back, and that was really, really neat.
Nice.
I was sharing the story of kind of being prepared for the next event, USA 250, we're a very historical area, I feel, is our next opportunity to lasso the moon. And a woman shared with me that her daughter decided to come to SUNY Plattsburgh because she came up to Plattsburgh during that event.
Wow.
So it's just, there's lots of different things, but there's definitely some wins there. I think it was a good community feeling, and I think we look forward. Do you want to share about the next, just the updates on the next community good feeling?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. As you know, I'm a little bit off the game plan.
I get
just
it,
got
I
back
know.
From a conference. But a news release went out yesterday, and we're glad to announce that the city of Plattsburgh, in collaboration with the town of Plattsburgh, are planning a Memorial Day parade, May 26th, at 11 a.m. That parade will start at the West Side Ballroom, proceed down New York Road, around the traffic circle, and then over to the Oval, at which time we will do some ceremonies at the flag poles at the Oval. But been able to work with Mayor Hughes and his team, but we just feel it's a great opportunity given the military history dating back to the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the fact that there was some sort of military installation in the Plattsburgh area from 1814 until 1995. And then if you think over the history of our country, the thousands of individuals from this area that have worked to defend our freedoms, and it really gives us an opportunity for those to recognize those that made that ultimate sacrifice. I think it's long overdue. It's going to be the first time that since I've been in the area, almost 40 years, that there's been a Memorial Day parade in Plattsburgh itself. And I think it's just great that the town and the city can work together in unison to pull this off this year. So we're really looking forward to that, not just for this year, but for years to come.
So you were or weren't at the one in 1812?
Michael was there.
Oh,
It was
In a
in the
former
paper
role.
today, just so you know.
Yeah,
I know
I
you said the
did
press
see that.
release was.
Yeah, so no, we worked together, and some invitations went out to individual groups, mailing lists that we've built between the the city and the town, but certainly would encourage people to run the city website, the form's on there, to fill out the form, get the form filled out, so that we can start getting the parade lineup ready.
Nice.
And I think this all interconnects with a lot of what we're working on, from the Battlefield Memorial Gateway
Yeah.
to promoting our local history, you know, and all this type of stuff. And, you know, I think it's also equally, you know, a unique opportunity, given the fact that it was 30 years ago this year that the Plattsburgh Air Force Base closed. You know, something that this community certainly was very sad to see. But I think, you know, us being able to take a moment and to recognize that as well, and thank those members that continue to be in our community.
Start that parade at what was the old non-commissioned
Yeah.
officers club,
Yep.
basically.
Yep.
So,
So, is there anything else for anybody? Going once, going twice? All right, we will adjourn tonight at 6:16. Thank you very much, folks. So those other items will be remembered, and we'll put them on the agenda for